Tesla's still our top pick.
Despite Tesla now having a new chief financial officer, he remains bullish on Tesla, keeping it as his top pick. I will go through some of the latest Tesla stock news first, and then I will come back to this clip at the end of the video. Elon Musk says, "I would like to thank Zach Kirkhorn, the former chief financial officer of Tesla, for his many contributions to Tesla over the course of 13 often difficult years. Much appreciated and best wishes for the next stage of his career." It appears to me that Elon is suggesting that Zach will keep working and perhaps he's moving to another company. Well, I think we will find out about that relatively soon. Either way, I don't think this is a big deal. Zach leaving Tesla, we have a new replacement. I think the new person is going to be just fine. Get ready to see a lot more EV companies going bankrupt, just like Lordstown Motors did, because it is going to be extremely difficult for them. Here's a new one. This one is going bankrupt. Lucid reported earnings just now, and we now see what the gross margins were for Q2, and the picture, well, it's not looking exactly pretty. Gross margins are getting worse every single quarter, at least recently. The bankruptcy gravity here is really strong, but the good thing is, Lucid says, they will unveil their Gravity SUV in November with start of production on track for late 2024. That is assuming that they still remain around. For example, they now lose $500,000 basically for every single vehicle that they deliver. Although about a year ago, in Q2 of last year, that loss was over $800,000. Lucid also missed a lot of expectations. They missed earnings expectations. They lost more money than expected. They generated less revenue than expected, but they reiterated their guidance for 10,000 vehicles produced in 2023. And supposedly the amount of money that they have is going to be enough for them to get to 2025. But here's the thing, they burn about $1 billion per quarter, so they have enough money for the next 6 quarters, yeah. But they are launching a new SUV, and I can't imagine how they will be able to spend less money during the ramp. They will need to increase their spending, so that's a difficult situation to be in. They will need another cash injection from the Saudis, but will the Saudis agree to it? But they, Lucid, before said that in 2023 they will generate $5.5 billion in revenue. Well, last quarter they only brought in 150 million, so that would be how much? 600 million of revenue if we analyze that. Here's another way to look at this whole situation. Since Q2 of 2022, Lucid has produced almost 5,000 more cars than they have delivered, and normally that would be a great thing because you have more inventory, so people can buy your cars easier, right? Well, that's only really good if your inventory does not exceed more than 90 days of supply. But if you look at it in terms of days of inventory on hand, this equals to 310 days of inventory on hand. That is not good. Tesla has installed some V4 superchargers at Giga Berlin. We are not really seeing them in the US yet. I'm looking forward to that. This could be a 4680 battery from Samsung. Samsung has achieved its battery cell performance targets earlier than planned and has officially started preparation of sample for a customer. We don't know if it's exactly a 4680 battery though. More good news for the Cybertruck. This is another Cybertruck being shipped out from Giga Texas. Interesting data for all those who pretend that Tesla will have a huge liability from leased cars at the end of the 3-year term, allegedly worth less than in Tesla's books. Here is Alexandra's August 2020 Model Y due to return now, book value of $33,789. The trade-in value, however, on average is $34,000, closer to $35,000 actually. And Alexandra posted this lease agreement. You can pause and read all of it if you would like, and this is the part that we need to see right here. But we should also keep in mind that Alexander got that vehicle before the prices really went up, and then Tesla cut them, so we'll really know once these higher price Model Ys return was going on then. Tesla started doing automotive financing on their own books in Q3 of last year, and this is how these numbers look. Here's how much Tesla is financing each quarter at the bottom. And over here, you can see the total accumulated amounts. And in blue, you can see how much Tesla is going to receive in the next 12 months. Tesla could package these loans and basically sell them to investors. Cybertruck expectations in terms of when the first one will be delivered to a non-employee, well, these expectations are all over the place. There's no consensus really. I just think it will be probably more likely in Q4 than in this quarter. Because on the earnings call, we did not hear anything about the Cybertruck being delivered in this quarter. We know that Tesla generates more net income than Ford and GM. However, when we look at revenues, it's a little bit different. But with Tesla, revenues expected by Wall Street to grow by 24%, which is relatively low, per year between 2023 and 2027. And GM and Ford expected to grow by 4% and 2% respectively. Tesla revenues will pass Ford's revenues in 2026 and GM's revenues in 2027. A little bit over a year ago, there was a lot of talk about Tesla going into Indonesia. And recently, Tesla entered Malaysia, but not Indonesia. However, Indonesia still is keen to court Elon Musk and is now worried by Tesla's Malaysia base. My expectations for Tesla doing something in Indonesia currently are extremely low. I think Tesla is more likely to focus on India first at this moment. We could possibly use this information to predict perhaps when the refresh Model 3 will be announced. Remember how they offered 3.43% financing at the end of June until August the 20th? And then discontinued the offer in Q3? Seems like this really was to get the old threes away for the new one. I think there's a good chance Tesla will wait until it sells out most of its existing Model 3 inventory before announcing something substantial. We got big and important Tesla stock news here from Bradford. He's getting prepped for his Lathrop Mega Factory stakeout diet. So it appears that Bradford is going and basically camping in front of the factory in Lathrop that produces Megapacks, and he's going to count again how many Megapacks that factory is now producing. This was extremely valuable research from Bradford earlier, and I would really like to know exactly how many Megapacks Tesla is now producing in Lathrop. Possibly we could have some very bullish findings from this stakeout. Huawei is planning to launch an electric car, which supposedly will rival the Model 3, is what the Chinese media believes. I personally like this poll. Should the Tesla board of directors ask Elon to call off the fight for safety reasons and shareholder concerns? Most people think yes. Some people, very few though, think no. And a small portion of them think they should welcome it. And 20% say they have no say. Whether they ask does not mean demand or order Elon to cancel the fight. I think they should at least ask. And what Elon decides to do in the end is up to him. But I would like to have just a bit of pressure for Elon to help to get out of this fight if he decides to not do the fight. Elon's mom is also very publicly pushing against this fight, and this would be another excuse, possibly, if Elon decides not to do the fight, to get out of it without really losing face. Well, he would still embarrass himself perhaps a little bit, but I think I would be okay with that. My bet at this point is Elon will do the fight. One reason why I am so strongly opposed to this fight is because Elon had a few surgeries before, and he now says he may require surgery before the fight can happen. He will know this week if he will need surgery. I find it a bit difficult to believe that it has already been 5 years since Elon tweeted this. This was a 5-year anniversary on August 7th, and Tesla stock is up about 1,000% since then. Since Elon tweeted, "I'm considering taking Tesla private at $420, funding secured." Here's a poll from Steven in your social circle. What percent, best guess, of people are planning to buy an EV as their next vehicle or already own an EV? 54% of the people say 0 to 25%, but 26.1% of the people say 25 to 50%, which is a fairly significant number, and I believe this will start changing rather rapidly in the not too distant future. Also, we all know that Steven lives in Australia. However, it seems like he might be moving to the US rather soon. He said the consequences of this poll will be important. Please vote carefully. And most people said he should move to the US in 2024. So will we see Steven in the US next year? Here's something I didn't know 3 years and 6 days in, and I just discovered there's a power outlet in the trunk. I had no clue that there is a power outlet in the trunk of the Model Y. I guess it would be pretty useful for storing a little fridge maybe to cool down your drinks.
You know, there's a lot to like about this stock. Just beginning first production of the Cybertruck, you look at the reservation count on that model, it's multiple times any other forthcoming EV. And the company's sheer size in terms of market cap give it a lot of advantages in terms of cost of capital over the rest of the industry. Remember, they're the largest company in the industry in terms of market cap. They're not nearly the largest in terms of their annual volumes. But we think, the stock will grow into its valuation here in the coming years. So that is our top pick. As far as the news out today regarding the CFO stepping down, he had been in that role for over 4 years. And, we don't think there's any red flags there. In fact, he's going to stay on with the company till the end of the year to make sure it's a seamless transition with the new CFO.
He made some good points there about Tesla stock. I think on Tesla stock, he is going to be right. And I think it might be quite dangerous to not own Tesla stock during the launch of the Cybertruck. Of course, you never know. Tesla could dip really heavily at any point, but I think it's more risky to not own Tesla stock during this period. And YouTube says you should watch this video next, but if you haven't finished watching this Elon Musk interview, watch this one first. My name is Matt Bozius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.